Yeah, them nigga wood, they say they're from out of town or whatever, we don't give a fuck. The deal is done, now the cake been baked. They need to come on with the drama, whatever they gonna do. Other than that, fuck them. We ball. Other than that, fuck them. We ball.
Why do I keep on running away?
Other than that, fuck them. We ball. Other than that, fuck them. We ball.
At 18 years old, I was arrested by the Narcotic Strike Force, which most of these guys were federally investigated. Most of these guys were found out to be liars. They lied on the stand and was proven to be liars.
Up next.
Liars. I was arrested for pointing a gun at a whole strike force. You know what a strike force? A strike is when 5 or 6 cops come to do a bust. I was arrested for pointing a gun at 2 or 3 cops without any shots being fired. And this is for America. Now we have like cameras and hand cameras. I want to ask you, do you really believe I pointed a gun at 2 or 3 cops without a single shot being fired? A young black man and
Yeah, I don't know what the underlying facts are. I just don't want to ignore the argument that some make that, hey, Meek Mill's not the guy who should be making this case.
I just want to explain it. I just want to know from a personal opinion, do you believe a young black man in America can point a gun at 2 or 3 cops? Because I'm not the only one that get found guilty for these things. Cops charge people with these things at an alarming rate, and people take deals because they don't have lawyer money or they can't afford attorneys to even fight for their freedom. Do you believe that a young black man can lift up a firearm and point a gun at 2, 3 cops while they're attempting to do a bust with their firearms out and not a single shot being fired? That don't even make sense in America.
Rights violations of African
We're talking about the individual, not the history. You know, one thing, I got to tell you something.
They come together, King.
They don't.
They come together. If they did, if there wasn't a need for repair of people, then the Japanese Americans wouldn't have been repaired or had restitution after their 2 years in internment camps in America. Or the Jewish Germans wouldn't have gotten repair.
Are you?
This just a little bit we just showing you right now. This ain't shit compared to what we know or what we got. I mean, but we just want to see what this do. You know, no, this is just a nice piece of. That's right. We ain't gonna hit it with no joke. We gonna hit it with a nice piece the first time. Boom, boom, boom. So you
Jay,
gotten repair.
Are you saying all it would take in your mind then is some sort of restitution check from the government?
I didn't say check.
No, well, you're saying some sort of restitution.
Repair aid, restoration.
Let me tell you something.
It starts with
there are no black people in America right now who were ever slaves. Not a single one.
Right.
There are no white people in America at this point who were ever slave owners.
Correct.
Okay.
But is there not residual effects of that?
The overwhelming majority.
Are there no residual effects of that?
Not for the average person on either side.
Is there no
Not
long-lasting
for the
trauma
average
of that?
person for the either side.
How do black people get into the ghettos you talked about?
You have to escape
Did the government
yourself.
not redline black people, put red lines on the map Google it if you don't know.
Don't everybody believe
in
Google?
The government put black people into ghettos through redlining. That created it.
Jay.
Is that right or wrong?
Ultimately, we are in a point right now.
Did the government not create COINTELPRO? A government program that broke up civil rights leaders and assassinated our people. Did the government not do that?
Jay, hold on.
Go look up the history. Shit, don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that shit. See what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man. You know what. I dare you to sit up there and say this.
The New York Times, and not only did I read what you wrote and watch the video, but I also read the comments that were appended to it. Many of them were supportive, but many of them, Meek, said, hey, you're not the right guy to take on this fight. I can put one on the screen of just something that was typical. I'm not defending our criminal justice system at all, but let's look at the facts. It was more than just a wheelie. We don't know his juvenile record. He got probation, on and on and on, got convicted for selling drugs, possessing a firearm. Essentially, it makes the argument you didn't play by the rules. And if you had played by the rules, I'm going to give you the chance, but if you hadn't played by the rules, you wouldn't have had issues with the system.
I always dreamed too of being like on like CNN and being able to express myself and speak for like the voiceless young men of America. The first step I would say, I grew up in America in a ruthless neighborhood where we are not protected by police. We grew up with people selling drugs on our neighborhood, on our front steps. We grew up in ruthless environments. We grew up around murder. You see murder 7 days a week. I think if you grew up in my neighborhood, you see 7 people die a week, I think you would probably carry a gun yourself. Would you?
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah, yes. If you seen your neighbors and family members, or you seen one of your best friends you grew up with get your brains blown out, I think you would want to protect yourself.
That white man gonna say, and by the way, pick up its new album, Champions. So let's see what are you doing? Going all over the world and pick up Champions. Make sure you download Champions.
That shit. See what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man. You know what. I dare you to sit up there and say, explain. You know what I'm talking about, man. He's fighting people. You know we've been fighting 400.
You know what's up, man?
Hey, man. Hey, look, check this out, right? Little shout out there. She got some brands and I ain't balls.
What kind of the yellow can?
Fighting 400.
Jump on there. You know what's up, man?
Hey, man. Hey, look, check this out, right? Little shout out there. She got some brands and I ain't balls.
What kind of the yellow can?
McKesson delivers more than 1/3 of all medicines in the U.S. from a network of 30 warehouses around the country. The DEA requires drug distributors to identify, stop, and report orders of unusual size or frequency to the agency, something Schiller says McKesson did not do until the company learned it was under investigation.
They had hundreds of thousands of suspicious orders they should have reported, and they didn't report any. There's not a day that goes by in the pharmaceutical world, in the McKesson world, in the distribution world, where there's not something suspicious. It happens every day.
And they had none.
They weren't reporting any. I mean, you have to understand that. Nothing was suspicious.
You know what's up, man?
Hey, man. Hey, look, check this out, right? Little shout out there. She got some brands and I ain't balls.
What kind of the yellow can?
That big blue, small blue, little round blue.
How she know who she is?
Bitch, she got an apartment now.
How many she got?
She got like 8 of them.
What she want for?
She really want 10 off all of them.
Let's see what they look like.
I see blue.
All right, let's see what they look like. We finna tell. These folks running around shit, they don't even know what they got. Is they prescriptive for grade?
In one case, DEA investigators discovered that McKesson was shipping the same quantities of opioid pills to small-town pharmacies in Colorado's San Luis Valley as it would typically ship to large drugstores next to big city medical centers.
And McKesson is supplying enough pills to that community to give every man, woman, and child a monthly dose of 30 to 60 tablets. Is that not shocking? I found that
Thanks anyway. If you get them kind of look like them bars, come out. Check me out. Yeah. know, shit. Rest in peace, George Bush. You know, but shit.
This is how crazy it is.
Yeah,
George Bush Sr.
Yeah, the old man George Bush. But yeah, he the one got down, you know what I mean, started that bullshit about the dope move. You know what I mean? He let them folks get that dope in here long time ago. And then when they got out of hand, before like they ain't had nothing to do with it, jumped on the other side when locking folks up. And went with that say no to drug movement, Eminem White, they did a whole bunch of bullshit. But they know what was going on behind the, you know what I mean? Real talk. I was born in 82. You know what I mean? When shit really just going down. I know. All bullshit aside.
Say for what? Ball till your days is up. This place is fucked, all type of
we ball.
How they make it where you afraid to fuck? They gave us drugs, then turned around and investigated us.
We ball.
Then you want life support. What is
that? I hear.
Hey, yo, niggas get shot every day, B. You be alright, nigga. You tough, right?
I'm out, Rico. You understand what I'm saying? Look at me. I've been shot in the head, baby. My body different. I'm breathing different. You understand what I'm saying? The doctor said I wasn't gonna walk the same. You understand what I'm saying? I'm out.
Yo, hey, man, pull your skirt down, B.
He's down, baby.
What you say? It's just a regular day.
Oh, yeah. Let's get back to the
regular day, you know what I mean? In the hood, you know what I mean? DJ got killed, that ain't that. Everybody finna goddamn, you know what I mean? Back to your regular scheduled program, you know what I mean?
We had to take shit like that happen in our life and keep on. We couldn't keep pouting about it. You know why? Because something else happened right behind that. So I couldn't even think about that no more. I had to think about that. Like, damn, what about that? Sit that aside and handle this. Soon that happened. Damn, what about that? Sit that aside and handle this. God damn. That's how I know that. But yeah. Man, I hope goddamn they let my boy, they get my boy a bun, whatever, sit down, because if they don't, man, shit. It's gonna be real ugly, man. I'm talking about that's a long ass time to sit without going to court. They can go find anybody in that time to say any motherfucking thing. You know what I mean? Real talk. That shit really dangerous. It ain't funny no more. It was never funny to us, but I'm pretty sure ain't nobody laughing now. You know what I mean? Cause them Fed, they don't even play. When have you ever heard of the Fed playing something like
93% conviction.
Yes, indeed, my darling. They don't give you no break. Ain't no, they don't care who you is, who your folks is, how much money you got. None of that. That means nothing to them. They want you to know that, hey, boy, you can't do certain shit on our watch. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just my bias opinion. That's it.
As far as murdering anyone, but certainly on the idea that black people are victims in this country, despite the fact we have a black president and a whole lot of black people in this government who have been in position for almost 8 years.
Right. Who are
you think
in the
Barack
same
Obama?
system.
You think Barack Obama hates black people?
I don't think that all cops hate black people. I don't think that all government officials hate black people. What I'm saying is that you could put good people in a bad. You're a businessman, you know. You could put good people in a bad system. If the company culture is screwed up, then it's gonna play out in the market.
Roll them, but you're not black.
My outfit together, whatever. 100 for the diamond chain. Can't you tell that I came from the dope game? Blame Reagan for
dollars have been allocated for the weapons. The CIA funneled a portion of that money to the Contras in Nicaragua, the group Reagan supported in their guerrilla fight against the Sandinista government.
That prompted an investigation by the U.S. Attorney General, who discovered that only $12 million of the $30 million actually went toward weapons for Iran. The rest of the money was sent to the Contras in Nicaragua. The revelations were explosive. Reagan denied the allegations that he had negotiated with terrorists, but Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North came forward and acknowledged that he diverted funds to the Contras.
dope game. Blame Reagan for making me to a monster. Blame Oliver North when I ran Contra. I ran contraband that they sponsored.
That he diverted funds to the Contras. North also said Reagan knew about it.
They gave us drugs, then turned around and investigated us. Life is short, then you on life support. So in between it all, I'ma say I seen it all. Watch me.